This is Small Biz Florida, the podcast designed and produced specifically for Florida small business owners and entrepreneurs. Small Biz Florida, talk that works for Florida. This podcast is supported by the Florida SBDC Network, providing the tools, strategies, and expertise to help Florida's business community thrive. Visit the Florida SBDC online at www.floridasbdc.org or contact your local office and get started on your path to success today.
This is Small Biz Florida, the podcast and broadcast that's all things business across the state of Florida. I am Tom Kindred, your host for Small Biz Florida, coming to you from Indian River State College and the Florida SBDC Network. As everyone knows who tunes into Small Biz Florida on a regular basis, our platform here is designed, created, and launched to provide information to small business owners and operators, best practices, business information, tools, resources that are available throughout the state. But primarily, one of the main reasons we created this platform was to make sure that we had a channel that was available to us to get out information regarding disaster assistance following any disaster in the state of Florida that affected small business. And that is what today's segment is going to focus on. We've got our very good partner, most important partner and collaborator in all of this, the SBA. And we've got our very good friend, Sandra Lawson, who is a public affairs specialist with the U.S. Small Business Administration Office of Disaster Assistance. Sandra, good to see you again. We just spent some time together in Okeechobee not too long ago, but again, thank you as always for coming on to provide us the latest updates in terms of disaster relief and assistance programs.
Thank you, Tom. It's good to be back.
Yes, ma'am. All right. So as we always do, Sandra, just start us very quickly, a little bit of your background pathway to the SBA.
Yes, I am a public affairs specialist with the SBA now, but previously I did training and development with a large corporation, and outreach is one of my passions. And what I do now is a labor of love, because I love to help people get back on their feet or learn new things. And so sharing this resource information is a joy for me.
Nice. And we appreciate you sharing your talents and expertise and your passions with us. So let's start with maybe just a high-level update on Ian. Where are we on the West Coast in terms of disaster programs and assistance?
Well, Tom, I'm proud to say that in the state of Florida, over $1.5 billion in approved loans from the SBA has been awarded, and people are starting to use those resources to rebuild and get back on their feet. So we're glad about that. Of course, Lee County, had significant damages, and that's where the bulk of the funds were awarded. However, across Florida, people have been getting the benefits of those disaster loans. Now, Ian, the physical damage application deadline closed on January 12th. And, it's not widely known, but there is a 15-day grace period, which is fast approaching. However, you have to have a good reason as to why you missed the deadline, but keep that in mind. Also, the economic injury or the EIDL disaster loan program is still active for Ian through June 29th of 2023. So small businesses and private nonprofit organizations who lost business due to the impact of Ian can apply for those working capital loans still. And you can do that online. There is a business recovery center that's located. There's one in Lee County, and there's also one in Seminole County.
Okay. Excellent. Thank you for the update. Pretty clear. Physical damage has closed on 1/12. There's a 15-day sort of grace period, but you better move quickly on that. You got to have a good reason. And the EIDL, the Economic Injury Disaster Loan for the Ian Hurricane marketplace is open till June 29th, you said.
Exactly.
Okay. All right. Okay, excellent. Thank you for that update. Let's talk now. Primarily, our purpose today was to try to cover where we are with Nicole, Hurricane Nicole. So I guess start us with, Sandra, what areas are eligible for Hurricane Nicole relief programs?
Okay. Some counties were impacted both by Ian and Nicole.
All right.
So, but for Nicole, Brevard, Flagler, Lake, Putnam, St. John's, and Volusia were the primary counties. And those counties that are adjacent to the ones that I just named would be eligible for economic injury. Okay.
Okay.
So those are the counties. The application deadline is for physical damages is February 13th. Which, that isn't that far off.
No, listen, at my age, that's a blink of an eye. Yes,
it is. Yeah. I mean, really, time's just flying. Right. And then economic injury, you got until September 13th, which would be, those small businesses and private nonprofits.
Okay. So again, to make very clear here now, Brevard, Flagler, Lake, Putnam, St. John's, and Volusia County at this point were the primary areas where those businesses can access physical damage loans through the SBA, and that deadline is February the 13th. Contiguous counties to those primary counties are Alachua, Bradford, Clay, Duval, Indian River, Marion, Orange, Osceola, Polk, Seminole, and Sumter. Those counties have the EIDL loan available to those small business owners, the economic injury disaster loan. So talk to us about the two loans. What explain physical damage loans?
Okay, can I back up one second?
Sure.
Those counties that can apply for both Ian and Nicole, so you have to be mindful of the declaration number when you're applying. You have to be mindful of the incident period so that when you're making your application, you keep things straight. So funding is tied to the actual hurricane declaration. So just keep that in mind, especially applying online without the benefit of a customer service rep to walk you through. Just make sure you're applying for the right hurricane in those terms.
Okay. Excellent information.
Yeah. All right. So now, the types of loans that are available under Nicole would be for physical damages and for economic injury. So for physical damages, you have your homeowners and your renters that could apply for those physical damages. The dollar amounts the max amounts that they could receive in the way of a disaster loan would be up to $200,000 for the homeowner, up to $40,000 for the renter, and then the homeowner can also apply for an additional $40,000 for any kind of inventory, the physical contents of their home, their stuff and cars, that kind of thing. And for the businesses, up to $2 million, and that's the business of any size, for physical damages that were incurred, up to $2 million, and then that would includes your inventory assets and everything, related to the business. Now, economic injury is also $2 million, but if a business applied for both physical and economic injury, the $2 million is the limit on all loans for that business. Okay. And again, the interest rates are a little bit different for Nicole. The rates come out quarterly. So, Nicole came out a little bit behind Ian. So the rates for the homeowner and the renter would be 2.3%, as low as 2.3. And then the businesses would be 3.3, as low as that. And then for the nonprofits, the rate is 2.3%. And that's for up to 30 years. And then we do have the deferment plan that's in place for these loans. You get 11 months, actually, and on the 12th month, you have to start paying back. And then it's 0% interest, up until that time. And you can always pay off the loans early if you want. There's no penalty for early payments or anything like that. The other thing that's nice about the loans is that you have time to decide whether or not you want to use the loans. We urge people to apply as soon as possible and get a decision from SBA. If the resource is approved, then you have 2 months to decide if you want to use it. If you don't need it, don't take it. And if you're offered more funding in the loan than you actually need, only utilize what you actually need. Even though the rates are low and they're long term, it's meant to help you get back on your feet. And the eligibility criteria for these borrowing these loans would be your credit history. It needs to be a reasonable credit history. And then we need to be able to verify that there's ability to repay the loan. We do look at previous history, making sure that there has been no default on federal loans, that kind of thing. But the SBA is willing to work with people in need of recovery. So that's why we encourage people to apply as soon as possible and get a decision from us.
Okay. Sandra, that is an incredible, thorough, robust update. We really, really appreciate it. So, and again, I always like to point out what you did. You went over in detail, but the terms on these loans are very extremely reasonable and advantageous for the business owner. So this is an opportunity, especially if you realize some damage, especially economic damage. If you had to close for a week, if you were without power, if you lost all the food in the cooler, you're a restaurant, this is an opportunity to access some capital with very reasonable terms and very reasonable payback terms also. So again, an excellent product from SBA to help those folks recovering from Hurricane Nicole. So again, we appreciate those updates. What is the activity that you're seeing as you reported from Ian? Are we seeing some activity in the Nicole areas?
We are, especially in Volusia County. Okay. The total dollars approved already in Florida for Ian is $3.2 million, and the bulk of it is coming out of Volusia County. Okay. Lake and Brevard, Flagler, they're okay. Doing okay based on the damages that they had. Okay. And there's still time to apply. There are applications that are still in the processing mode, so the loan approval dollars will follow thereafter.
Okay. Is there, beyond our little podcast here, Small Biz Florida, is there a place folks can go? You go to the SBA.gov and look for that economic or disaster tab. Is that how they get to where they can get more information about these loans, requirements, right, counties, all that?
Right. And what people can do, if you go to the link that shows you how to apply online, it gives you a bunch of information, and then it gives you the link to click if you want to apply, but it walks you through some steps. So that link is disasterloanassistance.sba.gov. Okay. Disasterloanassistance.sba.gov.
Okay. And I guess that touches on another good point, which you may have said, but you can apply for these loans completely online. You do not need to meet with an SBA representative.
You don't have to meet with the representative. We always encourage meeting with the reps while they're here on the ground. That's what we're here for. And the centers are staffed just for that purpose. So we like to keep busy. And when there are multiple declarations going on across the country, then, our resources get a little bit tight. So we want to make sure the citizens of Florida have the dedicated resources, and they're being utilized, to the max. So as things pick up in other states, the resources will start to move around a little bit. But in Seminole County, we do have a business recovery center located at Sanford Information Center, 230 East 1st Street in Sanford. And they're still there from Monday through Saturday from 9 to 6. And there is a DRC in Volusia County at the Health Department in Daytona Beach. So, and it's open from Monday through Saturday from 9 to 6. So FEMA controls the DRCs, and I'm sure DRCs will be open until the February 13th deadline.
Okay. Sandra, again, thank you so much. Excellent information, excellent update. We do appreciate you continuing to loop us in and keeping us updated about regarding all the disaster assistance programs that are available because of Ian and Nicole. Anything else that we need to close with?
Just remember, if you are applying for physical damage loans and you are approved, whether you're a homeowner or a business, you can ask for an increase to do hazard mitigation. And that hazard mitigation means that you can build back better and stronger. And you can look at some options that are available to you under sba.gov/mitigation.
Okay. And that would be hurricane rated glass, awnings, hurricane shutters. So another excellent opportunity for folks to get themselves prepared for next hurricane season.
Exactly. And don't miss the opportunity because, the resources are great value and, building back is costly. So I encourage people to at least look into it, work with your contractor, to get some cost estimates and present it to your loan officer.
Okay. It is our very good friend, Sandra. She and I cross paths every now and again throughout our territory. Looked up and there Sandra was in Okeechobee the other day. So Sandra, we appreciate the relationship. We appreciate the partnership. We certainly appreciate you sharing your experience and time in helping small business owners and operators get back to business after a disaster. So thank you for all you do. Sandra Lawson, Public Affairs Specialist, U.S. Small Business Administration. We look forward to talking to you again, Sandra.
Thank you so much, Tom.
Keep up the good work. Thank you, ma'am.
Have a great day.
Yep. And with that, we will bring to close this segment of Small Biz Florida, another update on the programs, tools, and resources that are available out there in the marketplace to help our small business owners and operators recover from last year's hurricanes Ian and Nicole. As always, check us out, like us on Facebook and all of our platforms. We will talk to you next time. This is Small Biz Florida.
This has been Small Biz Florida, created and produced by the Florida Small Business Development Center at Indian River State College. Your host for Small Biz Florida is Tom Kindred. Partners for Small Biz Florida include WPSL and WSTU and Indian River State College, named the 2019 winner of the Aspen Prize for Community College Excellence.